Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. In today's video, I'll be showing you this beautiful Bustier pleat blouse with sleeveless straps. If this is a video you're interested in, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And to my new subscribers, welcome to the family. On this channel, we do sewing tutorials and we do pattern drafting. I'll be making use of Ankara fabric and I'll be using the paste to pad my Bustier. So right now, we'll go ahead and begin drafting the pattern. First of all, I'll extend my tape measure by 7 inches. You can do 6 inches depending on how exposed you want your bustier to be. So I'll be going upwards by 7 inches and that will be my bust line, my starting line, and I'll mark 9 inches for my bust line and I'll mark my bust point. My bust point of 10.5 inches, under bust 14.5 and my waistline 16 inches, and I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance. That'll make it 17 inches. I've gone ahead to rule the lines and I'll just be labeling it so that I don't get confused. So I'll proceed to labeling it. After we're done with that, we begin imputing our measurement. I'll start with my nipple to nipple. My nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2. That will give me 4 inches plus 0.5 inches of sewing allowance. That will give me 4.5. I'll mark that 4.5 and I'll extend with a straight line. So right now, I'll be taking in the dart of 1 inch on both sides. I'll be taking it on my length and to my shoulder line, or should I say starting line of 7 inches. So I'll be marking my darts just this way. I took 2 inches of darts. If you are bigger than this, you can do 3 inches of darts. That's 1.5 on both sides, but for me, I'll be going in by 1.5 and 1 inches on both sides for my darts taking. I'll proceed to cover my dart to meet my bust point, and I'll do the same process for the top. So I'll be going outwards by 1 inch as well on both sides, and I'll be covering my dart upwards just as shown. After covering my dart, the next step is to impute our measurement. My bust round is 42 inches and I'll be dividing that by 4. That will give me 10.5. I will impute that measurement on the bust point and on the bust line and also on the starting line. There's no armhole curve in this pattern. The next step is to impute our waist measurement. My waist is 38 divided by 4, that will give me 9.5. I'll mark that measurement and 2 inches of dart taking and 2 inches of sewing allowance. So I'll be imputing that measurement, and also on my waistline, I will impute the same measurements. So I'll be adding my 2 inches of dart taking and 2 inches of sewing allowance. Now that we are done drafting, I'll proceed now to just connecting the lines, and I'll be adding my 2 inches of sewing allowance at the bust line, the bust point, and the starting line as well. So I've connected the lines just as shown. This is how our patterns will look like at the end of the day. And after that, the next step is to cut out our pattern. If you have watched the video to this point, please give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. So right now, I'll be using my Ankara fabric for my lining piece. If you don't have enough fabric to work with, you can make use of lining, but I'll be using the Ankara to line this outfit. So right now, I'm just cutting out my pattern just as shown. Don't make a mistake cutting out yours. Watch how I cut out my pattern. If you're a beginner, you can draft on pattern paper before drafting on fabric. Next step, I'll proceed to notching my bust point, under bust, and my starting line, because I'll be padding this bustier with a soft paper interfacing. This is the budget around which my clients can, take. So I'll be padding with soft paper interfacing. The next step after notching is to draft our back pattern. I've proceeded to marking 1 inch of zipper allowance. I will extend my tape measure by 7 inches as well. Mark my bust line measurement of 9 inches, bust point of 10.5, my waist length of 16 inches, and 1 inch for sewing allowance, making 17 inches. I will extend the lines, and the next step is to impute my nipple to nipple measurement. After imputing the measurement, I'll connect with a straight line, and I'll be taking 2 inches of dart taking. I'm taking 1 inch on both sides for my darts, and I'll connect with a straight line. I'll be using a simple dart method for this pattern. So I'll proceed to extending my dart upwards to meet my starting line. That's how I'll be drafting the back pattern. And I'll be imputing my measurement for my bust line measurement. I'll be imputing it on the starting line, on the bust line, and the bust point. This pattern has no armhole curve, so I'll proceed to imputing my waist measurement and adding 2 inches of sewing allowance as well for the back waistline. So right now, I'm just imputing my 0.5 inches of dart taking for the upper part. So I just extend the lines just as shown. There's no armhole curve for this pattern, please don't forget that. So I went inwards to remove zipper bulge and tighten my waist. So I'll be going in by 0.5 inches and I'll just connect the lines just as shown. The next step is to cut out our pattern. I'll be drafting the trouser for this outfit in the next two tutorials, and I proceeded to lining my outfit with the Ankara fabric. So I'll proceed to doing that. I just marked 0.5 inches to notch that part where I'll be putting the straps. Please don't make a mistake. Ensure you notch where you want your straps to be while you are drafting your pattern. I'm just notching my dart intake and cutting out my zipper allowance just as shown. The next step after cutting, we'll begin with the joining of the fabric together. We'll start with the back pattern, but before that, I'll be cutting out what I'll be using for the pleats and the straps as well. So right now, I've gone ahead to, I cut out 2.5 inches wide for my straps and 33 inches long. You can do shorter than that, but make sure that your straps are long enough to be able to tie and form the bow. While for my pleats, I did 15 inches wide and 132 inches long. You want to have enough fabric to work with while you're forming your pleats. That's why I made my own this long. So right now, after marking the measurements for the pleats and the straps, we'll proceed now to the joining of the fabric together. Here I'm just illustrating how I'll be doing my strips. I'll proceed to folding it just as shown for my strips, and I'll be making 4 of these strips, 2 for the front and 2 for the back, so that you'll be able to form your bow on your shoulder while you tie your straps. Now after that, I'll proceed now to imputing the straps. I'll be marking where I'll be imputing the straps. I'll just mark that measurement. I've gone ahead to sew my back pattern round, so I'll just mark that measurement, and after marking, I'll just turn it over so I'll be able to process my darts. I'll sew in my darts and I've imputed my straps. The part where I notched earlier on the back pattern, that's where I imputed my straps. So right now I'm just aligning them. I'll proceed to marking my dart. After marking up my dart, I'll just roll it out. After rolling it out, I'll proceed to the sewing machine to take in my darts. I'll be doing this step for both the back patterns. I'll proceed to doing that. After doing that, this is the next step. After sewing the back pattern, it came already looking nice. This is the back pattern. I'm gonna have to give it a good press. So I'm gonna have to sew in my dart, and this is what we have at the end of the day. Now, if you notice your back pattern coming out this way, you want to align it. Just go ahead, draw a straight line, and go upwards by 0.5 inches, and trace out or cut out that excess. That's what I did for my pattern, so that your pattern will come out straight. So that what I did for my back pattern. The next step is to join in the front piece together. I'll proceed now to outlining the lining. So I'll go ahead and sew on 0.5 inches of sewing allowance for the front pattern. I've gone ahead to sew the bustier part together. It came already looking nice. You can see the way it's looking. So I'll proceed now to the front pattern as well. I'll bring in the normal piece, and I'll be lining with a soft paper interfacing. I'll be showing you the process of how I go ahead and line my interface. So right now I'll just be covering out the bust part. I'll be cutting out 3 pieces of each for the parts of the bustier part. So just watch how I do this part. All I'm doing in this part is tracing out how I'll be padding my bustier. So I'll proceed to doing that now. You can see me rolling the line under my bust and also the other side. So I've gone ahead to draft it out. I'll cut out these pieces from the interface, and I'll be cutting 3 pieces of each. So right now I've gone ahead to cut out the 3 pieces, and I'll be lining it just as shown. I'll proceed to pressing it with a hot steam iron, and I'll be joining a 0.5 inches of sewing allowance. Here's the outcome of the joining. It came out really looking nice. This is how you want to pad your bustier using soft paper interfacing. The next step is for me to go outwards on my seams, my bustier seams by 2.5 inches, and I'll be imputing the straps just as you can see, and I'll be joining my lining piece to it. I've gone ahead to do that off camera, so this is what it's looking like. It came out really looking nice. You can see the bustier part standing. Yeah, it came already looking nice. I love the outcome. So right now we'll be joining the side pieces together. Next step, I'll proceed to align both the front and back piece together, and I'll just go ahead to the sewing machine, and I'll be joining the side seams together, both the front and the back. And after joining the side seams, the next step is for us is to impute our pleats. After joining, I'll be showing you how I'm going to be joining my side seams. This is the method I'll be using to join my side seams together. It comes out looking neat. This is the outcome. It came out looking neat and nice. And right now I'll proceed to joining my pleats. I'll just be showing you how I'm going to proceed to making my pleats. So here's the fabric. I've gone ahead to join it together, and I'll be outlining it. on the bodice of my bustier. You can do gathers if that's what you want, but for me I'll be using pleats. So right here, this is the process I'll be doing, and I've gone ahead to do the pleats just as shown. I've gone ahead to sew down my pleats. This is how it came out looking like. You can see the bustier part standing. It came out really looking gorgeous. So the next step is for us to impute our zipper. I'll put in my zipper, and I also proceed to hemming my blouse. And we've come to the end of the tutorial. Watch out for the sewing of the pant trouser. It will be coming in the next two tutorials. I hope you're able to learn something. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Until I come your way again, bye.